For cycle 71, strength day A, we're gonna open with an EMOM. We have 4 movements, 3 rounds, so they'll be in this for 12 minutes. They're gonna do both sides on the minute, rest for the remainder of the time, so it's not a chain, it's single arm work, and it has some components here where we can help break down the clean so that if we have any members that are struggling with that clean, this is gonna allow you the time and the opportunity to give them the cues. So for the first minute, we're doing a single arm deadlift. So they're gonna have their bell standing directly over top. Single arm deadlift can be a little bit tricky because we do wanna have them pack their shoulder, but because it's one arm, it kind of drifts off to the side. So as best you can, try to get them to keep that nice packed, tall position, but that bell might drift a little from center, okay? So you're gonna stand directly over top of your bell, making sure we have that nice hinge, making sure that we're not rotated at the bottom, right? So nice and square shoulders. Exhale as you come tall into that single arm deadlift. Okay, they're gonna do 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Whatever time they have left is rest. Exercise 2 is gonna be the bent over row. So again, this is where you can talk about a clean is basically a single arm deadlift and a row that you put together. So they're gonna come into that hinge position again. And we're going to do a bent over row, making sure that that upper arm is tracking along the side of the body. We don't want to drive that elbow behind because that forces my shoulder forward. That can create stress across the front of the shoulder. So we have our bent over row, 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Whatever time they have left is rest. From here, we are going to do a single arm hike pass, which we've actually not really done to my memory before in We Fit, so it's a lot of fun. It's going to help them put that momentum build that you need for a swing clean together, okay? So you're going to go 2 feet back, because again, we're creating momentum, so we need to be spaced far enough away, making sure that shoulder is square. Hike, back to the ground. Hike, back to the ground, making sure we're making contact with the ground every time. Make sure that through that hike pass, this opposite arm, the free arm, is coming back, right? So we're mimicking the hike, because if we get to a point where we're doing a single arm swing, right, you want to make sure that that arm is mimicking the other side so that arms and shoulders stay nice and square through that movement. Your final exercise is going to be a single arm swing clean. So again, now we're putting everything together. They're doing a row and stand, which is your clean, and we're adding in the hike, which is going to give us that momentum. So 2 feet back, angle that bell, square the shoulder, hike, snap tall. It can go right into consecutive here for their 5, okay? Making sure that as they hit that backswing, we're coming here above the knees, not wasting energy below, okay? For the swing clean, if they're complaining about them hitting their wrists, I want you to pay attention to how far out they're casting the bell, right? We wanna keep that elbow in nice and tight, and it's just gonna float to the other side of the wrist, okay? Sometimes that bell will fly if they're going too light. So play around with that. Make sure people know that we wanna stay nice and tall, and elbow stays in nice and tight for those cleans. For our second block on strength day A, we're doing a body weight plus band for some of them, ladder down 8 to 1. So each movement you're gonna do 8 times through, and then 7 times through, and so on. Once you hit back to 1, if there's time, back to the top, okay? So we're starting with a squat jump. So squat jump, we're here trying to hit that nice full extension overhead, landing soft into the knees. If somebody doesn't feel comfortable with the load of the jump, you can have them squat and go into a triple extension so that they're still getting that big drive and still pushing that plyometric or that momentum piece a little bit with the squat jump. From the squat jump, they're gonna go into a push-up. So for the push-up, lots of different options here if somebody's not comfortable with a full push-up. You wanna make sure that your hands are directly under shoulders, feet can be hip width. They don't have to be all the way tight, they can be. It's gonna make it a little more challenging. And you wanna make sure that those elbows are tracking along the rib cage or at that slight 45-degree angle in order to avoid too wide in the elbows, right? Because that's gonna overstress the shoulder. So finding that nice strong plank position, squeezing the glutes, because that's gonna be really important to stay connected from upper body to lower body. Big inhale, hold that breath through the bottom, exhale as they press for those 8 reps. Now, if somebody is really working on their push-up, maybe you have them do a slow lower, relax on the ground, and then they just kind of roll back up to the top. Slow lower to make it an eccentric, roll back up to the top so that we can help them level up that exercise. You can take them to the knees. My preference is always going to be to put their hands on a box first, if you can, right? If you have space available to you to do so, because continuing to engage through the glutes and the lower leg is going to be really important to have a strong push-up. So if we drop it to the knees, we're losing a lot of that strength, losing a lot of that tension. If somebody doesn't feel comfortable with a push-up in general and those options don't work for them, you can have them do a plank shoulder tab so that we're still working on some upper body stability and a plank hold. So hopefully with those options, everybody will find a place that works for them. From the push-up, we're then going to Supermans, which is where the band comes in. I'm gonna put this around your wrists. We're gonna come to the ground, keeping that tension so hands are shoulder width apart, and then keeping everything nice and tight as we squeeze and find that Superman. Sometimes people complain about the tension on their stomach, so if that's a problem, you can always have them do hollow rocks as an alternative. It's gonna work anterior versus posterior, but it will still be a core-based movement. From there, we're doing a glute kickback. So we're gonna be in a slight standing position. I like to put it around the ankle of the stance foot and then around the shoe of my kickback foot so that it won't roll. So you're gonna come here, driving into that kickback, holding on to the Kleenex or anything for support or stability as they need, and then switching sides, making sure they are getting a little bit of that hinge, and then driving into that full extension on the working leg, okay? Last exercise is gonna be a sit-up. So sit-up, we wanna come through full range of motion. So we're here, coming all the way up. You can let them butterfly their legs if they feel like they don't have enough room. I also have used a straight leg sit-up. This is gonna be preferred for somebody who maybe has some low back pain because they're able to maintain that neutral spine at the top versus being rounded in the top of the sit-up. So sit-up, straight leg sit-up, or you can always give them a little bit of a crunch with arms coming straight up so that they're not over flexing in that lumbar spine if that's something that's in their injury history. Your last section on Strength Day A is going to be a coach's choice. The goal is to try to make these a little bit more core focused if possible. So forward plank, side plank, hollow rocks, also a goblet hold, right, can work the core, goblet marching. So be creative, have some fun, but trying to make sure we're getting a little bit more core focus for them because why not? So it'll be 30 seconds, 3 rounds for your coach's choice.